Kalimera, kalispera, kalinichta, no matter where in this world. Let's just get on with it, shall we? Forget about the intro.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.
Okay, take a deep breath. Breathe in, breathe out, and shake it all about. Shake it off. And let's dive in, kids, and have a discussion. It's Arsenal Football Club 2, Chelsea 1. The last, 3 minutes perfectly encapsulates this Arsenal team. Are you like me? Is it points versus performance? Let's dive in and see squaddies. Here to help me dissect the madness that is Arsenal Football Club on a post-game show. And we will be having a live report from the Emirates. So stay tuned because you're not going to want to miss that. James Johnson, welcome back.
At ease, thank God. Oh, my days. Oh, I'm struggling. I'm struggling with it, Sophie. I really am.
All right. Well, I know you are. I don't even care about this. Oh, no, wait. Mask Gunner, sorry, not you. Martin, I really care less about St. Totteringham's Day. Is there any other Arsenal fan that I care less, right? Let's talk about Arsenal versus Chelsea. And let's get sucked in. Please make sure you listen to our Chief Like Officer, Tammy Steels. We are on the road to 20K. And have your say. I'm going to try and get as many of your comments in as I possibly can. We'll start off with a couple, James, before we get stuck into the usual. And 235-100 says Nkapie is an absolute disaster, completely clueless. You shouldn't have to explain to professional footballers not to head the ball in their own goal. Our Chief Like Officer, Zubi having a stinker. Bring on Norgard. Well, he did come on, but not for Zubi. Let's see. Managers should be booked for asking for VAR. Let's see. Very unconvincing against 10-man Chelsea again, says Arsenal Manic. Simon says our mentality is weak. If we get this title over the line by hook or by crook, the mentality has to improve. He also says Raya man of the match. We're going to get stuck into all of that from you guys in just a little bit. Let's see. Andy says an expletive. Excuse my French, but damn, this team really knows how to put us through the ringer. They certainly do. Cincinnati, such a desperate and poor performance. So lucky in the end. Mohammed says, big win. Peter, what a struggle at the end. Our attack wasn't sharp enough. Martinelli looked lively when he came on. Sean Penn, 12. Just win. That's what matters now. 9 cup finals and 22 years of wait. Hopefully will be over. Nelly Lloyd says, not good for Neil Lloyd, says not good for the blood pressure, but at least we got it over the line. Keep the comments coming. I will keep reading them out. Sir Antonius, up early down under. We are top of the league. I say we are top of the league. And remember, let's answer that question. I should get a poll going. Are you points versus performance? Let me know. James, let's start at the beginning. Team lineup came out. What did you make of it?
Yeah, I did one, and I thought that Martin Odegaard was probably going to be fit, and he was probably going to go in. And then I said, if that's the case, you can't drop Eze after last week, so put Eze out wide left because I haven't been impressed with Trossard or Martinelli in recent weeks. Found out quite early that before the lineup even went out that Odegaard wasn't with them at the hotel, wasn't seen with them on the walk, so he wasn't going to play. So I thought to myself, well, this is going to be the same team that was there last week, and lo and behold, we got the same team that was there as last week. I know you'll kick on a bit in about certain players in this team at the moment, Sophie, but yeah, it's another week where a whole lot of them, I'm sorry to say, need to take a long, hard look at themselves.
James, keep talking for a second. I just need 30 seconds here.
No worries at all. Yeah, no, just for me, like I was saying, there was a lot of them in there in that starting 11 specifically that just did not have another good game. And again, they got a whole 90 minutes, quite a few of them. When you make these games, these wars of attrition, like we do, these sort of things happen, Sophie. And I'm sorry, but teams are starting to figure out some of these players that we've got. They're seeing the weaknesses, they're seeing the chinks in their armor, and they're exploiting them. And it's either a case of, you've got to figure out how to do that, or the manager has, because there's either a mental naivety, or they're just tactically burnt out by what Arteta's asking them to do, and the amount of minutes that he's asking them to do it in.
Well, Rice
It's
looked
going to catch
absolutely.
up. Yeah.
He looked finished in this game
And
today.
who was the last guy that Chelsea brought on? Because when he come on as a sub, Declan Rice was in the background, and you could see he was proper limp. I'm like, oh, please. I'm like, this just makes it even worse.
Yeah, he looked like he was fiddling with his groin for a little bit. It was evident he needed to come off from the minute, I think 10 minutes before he gave the ball away, which could have been, if it had been more on target, that would have been some own goal. But we'll get to all of that. Make sure you hit the like button. And of course, how remiss of me to not welcome our audio listeners on Apple and Spotify. Thank you so much for making us part of your day too. Hope you've enjoyed the recent episodes that we've been uploading. We appreciate you. Thank you for helping us grow. Tell your friends about us, subscribe, so you do not miss a show. Also, let's see if Newman shows up today. Now he's got his reward. Let's hope he does show up and do the manly thing. Right, let's talk about that first half, James. Let's just talk. What did you make of it? I thought we started off really well. We had an intensity about us, and we just couldn't capitalize on how awful their fear was at the back. Sanchez, every single time he got the ball, every single time they were trying to play it out the back, it felt like we could disrupt them, maybe, get something out of it. And it just felt like, again, I don't know if we were particularly nervous in the opening 20 minutes. I think what we were doing was trying to snatch at those opportunities as opposed to let some of them come to us as well. But what did you make of the first half overall, James?
Yeah, just absolutely spot on with what you're saying there. And you're on the other side of the world. I'm watching from my palatial estate here in Essex. I can see that Sanchez is panicking, and I can see that he can't deal with crosses, and he's an idiot when you shoot at him, when you pepper him. He pushes the ball towards, he doesn't push the ball out, he pushes the ball back towards people. What do? Nothing. We just carry on as we are. I'm like, you guys are all international established footballers, and yet I can see it, you can see it, but yet we're just going about it in the usual way. And it's the same thing again as soon as we score, where's the emphasis to keep? I'm like, they're down. They're completely down. Yet you bring life, and then guess what you do? You go down to Chelsea's level. Now, I know that they've got a brilliant record in the league, Sophie, since he's come in charge. But they're not a good side. I'm sorry, I will not be told that they're a good team. They're not a good team. They're not.
Chris from Texas is going to disagree with you, and there's a few.
They're not. They've got some flair players.
Man, come on, Reece James is class.
Reece James
Palmer is class.
Reece James is the only one.
João Pedro is really good player. No. I mean, they are. Caicedo is a good player. He's a mess when he plays against us for some reason.
So,
James,
Sophie,
they are a good team.
They've got some flair players and a bunch of cloggers, and on their day, they can roughhouse people. These are two teams that have had nearly $2 billion spent between them, and it resulted to WWE on corners. To win,
I agree with
all the goals.
It
resulted $2 billion has been spent on both sides nearly, and it's just shoving at corners to try and score goals. That was not. If I'm a neutral, I'd be fuming watching that. Luckily, I'm not. I'm an Arsenal fan, and I'm happy that we won. However, they are not a good side, and we went right down to their level.
Okay, so I'm going to stick here with Wesbird and Ayushman and Len and a few of the other listeners and W here. This is the difference between us. And I think because they've got nothing to lose, W, they do come across as playing without fear, especially when you go down to 10 men. You're away to Arsenal. You're fighting for that Champions League spot. Manchester United are on the rise. Liverpool have found their feet again. And you somehow are struggling. Do you know what Chelsea's issue is? It's not the players, James. It's not their squad. They've got a quality squad, quality players. They've just appointed average managers. Their manager looked like their coach, looked like a deer in headlights when they went down to 10 men. He didn't quite know what to do. Their discipline is crap because they're young. But I disagree with you. They showed glimpses of really good football that troubled Timber, okay, that troubled Nkapie at times. There was a couple of occasions where Saliba looked like, he was under pressure. Gabriel, I felt like at times their midfield overran us in the second half in particular. I think this is, and I said this to Tom Canton when everyone was saying, how can you not beat a 10-man Chelsea at Stamford Bridge? I complimented them. I think that they were a good team that actually was punching below their billion-dollar, price tag, their weight, but also, the players that they have and what they're able to do against us. They troubled us in the league this season, and we came out on top today. But I don't think they're as bad as you're making out.
I'll agree to disagree.
Well, tell me. Come back at me.
I don't see it, Sophie. I don't see. I think they're a squad of individuals that on their day can show individual brilliance, but primarily they're just a cloggy side. They're just a nippy little cloggy side that want to do, boring little fouls here and there, tactical fouls like Man City used to do and get away with when they were top. But unlike Man City, they don't get away with it. So they look bang average. And I'm sorry, we went down to their level. They've had so many sending offs. They've had 7 this season. They're better. They're used to having 10 men. They're better with 10 men because they get sending off nearly every game. And when they went down to 10, we dropped down. We're 2-1 up. Like, put the pressure on them.
Yeah. Well, we haven't been able to do that all season. We haven't been able to close out games with the exclamation mark. Arsenal are an ellipsis. They're not an exclamation point. And we have struggled. We go 1-0 up. I'm pretty sure that most Arsenal fans at that time were expecting us to concede a goal. That's who we've been this season. And unfortunately, James, we cannot hold on to a lead. And today, but for a miracle, we did. And we'll get to that. The goal came from a set piece. Yeah, fine, sure. Gabriel, big Gabby there, on the far post. Phenomenal hustle, phenomenal work to get the ball square back into the box. And Saliba is there. Bob's your uncle, Fanny's your aunt. We're 1-0 up, and it was a well-worked corner, James. Good goal.
Yeah. Like I said, look, it was all from set pieces today, but you cannot deny the quality of them. They're part of the game, and they were 2, brilliant set piece deliveries. Well, even 3 if you want to count their one as well. And Gabriel, superb to bring that back into the box. That's what you need to do. That's where you need to be. And glad that Saliba got the goal. He was the only one of that main 11 that hasn't scored all season. So yeah, was happy for him.
Is there anything in particular that happened in between when we scored and they scored, James, that you kind of want to highlight? Or do we just want to get to conceding a goal before half time? What did you see kind of? They seem to, again, we score, the opposition gets oxygen. We kind of allow it to brew, don't we?
It's the playing with the food, Sophie. And I don't want to go back to how I was in December, January time. But there were so many good chances. I mean, Timber, he scored his goal in the second half. Brilliant header. But there's that one in the first where it comes to him. If he hits that first time on the volley, which I know he can do, that's rifling the back of the net. But he took an extra touch. You know, Gyökeres today, I've praised him. I thought he was fantastic last week. That was his best game of the season for us last week. Awful today. I hate to say it. He was awful today. When he touches it like that, and he's got the defender there and everything, come on. He shows them. He shows them what he's going to do. I'm like, turn him. You got the pace. You got the power. We saw it last week, but unfortunately, it was Archie Gray. It wasn't. You know, it was a CDM playing in the defensive position. But he's up against, you know, what is his name, Chalobah today, and he just shirked it. He shirked it every time he got the chance. He shirked it. And again, like I mentioned when you did the lineup, other players as well, just really, really poor. And look, I'm trying my best here because I don't want to sound like I'm making out like we've lost when we've won today, and it's a massive point to extend the gap. But when you're going for these leagues, Sophie, nobody can be carried. And majority of them today, especially in that attacking lineup, were carried by that back four and that keeper today. They should be going in there now and thanking the likes of the defence that we've got and David Raya, because they were abysmal. They were absolutely abysmal.
I thought Martinelli was really good when he came on today. And
yeah, he was. He was lively. And I felt, do you know what? I felt really bad for him because, and again, I never like blaming the refs, but that one that he played the advantage on and then he pulled it back is one of the most disgraceful things I've seen all season.
But it did a red card, James.
It was a red card, yeah. But do it after, because we had 4 on 3 going into the box there.
Yeah.
It was disgraceful to do that.
I at the time I was screaming at the TV, "What are you doing?" Because he had done that literally a few minutes before, 10 minutes before, where he stopped an advantage again. And I just thought the referee today was just really off the pace of the game. It felt like, you know, he was one step behind the game and what was happening in the game. We'll get a few more of your comments up and we'll keep talking here and get to Chelsea's equalizer just before halftime. Demsek says, can we breathe now? No, we've got to do this 9 more times. Do you have the minerals, Gooners, to do this 9 more times? Oh, I tell you something.
Who are you asking that to, Sophie?
I'm asking myself.
Okay, because I was going to say, because us as fans have got the minerals. Us as fans need it. We want it. But do the players? It's the players that I want to know that have the minerals, and the manager. That's what I want to know.
Well, the Goonster one says, need therapy after watching that. Come on, you Gunners. Ayushman says, we will take that. Raya, top man. Mars Gunner says, you kids worrying about the stress, wait until you're old. Well, I'm kind of getting there. You know what I mean? We just scraped another one, says Len. And let's see. Guna Chris says, I missed the match. Seems like once they went to 10, it got worse. They got better.
Well, how can you critique me saying that Chelsea are bad if you never watched it?
Well, he's basing it on other games. That's why. He's being honest. He's basing it. And, you know, it's true. Liverpool, Man City, someone else said it in the live chat. Their discipline is killing them. Their maturity level is really just very poor. I think that's their 10th red card. As well. Kay Marlon says, trying to be defensive when we hanging on is something I don't get. Josh says, why can't we play football like a normal team, man? Big funds, HC. And Capier played well, just one silly mistake. The Clash blog mentality. Chelsea have the stupidest players in the league, thankfully. Matty K, let's get it straight. Chelsea, no pushovers, says Matty K. Andy, that was a fantastic comment. Who knew an own goal is bad? In the mood, I'm in. Unfortunate. Oh, I don't know what any of that means, but Big Caesar says a win's a win, and that's all that matters. Let's see. I want to talk about this. Our attack is not good. We need a ball-playing striker. Gyökeres is very bad at times with the ball. He was today. He had some couple of one-on-ones, and he didn't make the most of them. But again, you know, Saka wasn't great. Gyökeres wasn't great. Trossard was not great at all. And Eza was not great. Now, I'm not here to defend Gyökeres because he had opportunities one-on-one today and he didn't make the most of them. The first half in particular, was he one-on-one with Hato, is it? And he kind of screwed that up. Second half, he had another opportunity as well. He's also, we've seen, like, give him the space and he'll feed. The creative output today, sorry, James. It was non-existent. Saka was really poor today. He just went from one extreme to the other. Again, Saka and Eza peaking against Tottenham, and luckily, our defense making the difference today. So our defense has brought us this far this season, James. But we do give away a cheap goal right before halftime. You could argue that it was coming. And Capier unlucky with the flick on. Some would say leave it, Big Gabby's going to knock it out. But he's a defender. He sees the ball coming. He's going to try and hit it out the box. What did you see there with their equalizer, and the timing of it just really sucked?
Yeah, spot on again. I mean, look, you had the initial warning on the first one that he ducked earlier in the first half that he could have done better with in Capier. There was just, I don't know, communication again. I have no idea. The one just before it, I've seen people say it's a penalty. I think that's I would have felt that's quite harsh on Declan Rice if that was given. I know his arm's up there and it's not the most natural, but I would have thought that's quite harsh to give that as a penalty. Same in the second half. I mean, Sophie, we had old Prime Minister of Football, Lord Neville of Nevilleshire, on commentary here, and he was demanding a penalty for that one. And he was trying to make out like David Raya had punched the guy in the head like it was an assault, in the second half. He's ridiculous. But Nottingham Forest banned him. Can we ban him? Is that something that Arsenal can do? Can we go? You're not allowed in here anymore. He's dreadful. He's just not
so
constructive.
bad.
Yeah. I know he hates us because of the rivalry we had, but when he first come in, everyone was like, "Oh, he's a breath of fresh air compared to Keys and Gray." The way that they had to leave and what have you. And he's just got worse and worse as time's gone on, and he's
I like him
insufferable.
He's much better talking among other people on the overlap than as a color commentator. So and he's with Peter Drury as well, and it's kind of wasted because he's with Drury. But it's like this: Drury will go, "Oh, and that's just a biblical finish from da-da-da." He got right there on the line and he kicked the ball and the ball went in the back of the net and it was great. He's so mundane and boring, and I don't know how anyone listens to him, but enough about Gary Neville. The goal was cheap and Nketiah was unlucky, but it was a really bad time to concede going into the half, James.
Yeah,
it was
really disappointing, and you knew from there that obviously it's going to be really uphill because, again, like I said, you've just swung the whole momentum back into Chelsea's favour. And I'd say it again, I really did think, I'm like, we dropped down to their level. And, I'm sorry, I still stick with what I said. I don't think they're a good side, Sophie.
So, James, I've found that a lot this season is that instead of playing to our level, in a lot of these games, we've played to the opposition's level. And I find that's when we play at our worst as well. Nottingham Forest, Wolves. At the time when we played Liverpool, they were there for the taking. Probably at their lowest, we weren't able to capitalize on that. We kind of get stuck. We want to wear the cufflinks, but we got to roll up and be the blue collar Arsenal. And it had been working for us. And even now, points over performance. I just worry a little bit about the mentality side of getting into these scraps and these situations where instead of focusing and playing on your own game and executing, you're kind of getting rumbled by the opposition and you're falling into that trap. And I think that's all mental, James. I don't think that's got anything to do with the physicality or the talent of the team and who's playing. I think it's all mental for us. Do you agree?
I do, yeah. I think there's some physical fatigue in there, Sophie, because a lot of them have played way too many minutes than what they should be. But again, that is a completely different argument for a
Yeah.
completely different day. But I'm like, you know, they made changes, changes that people wanted to see. But then again, still, a lot of them again today, Sophie, I don't know how they got 90 minutes. Zubamendi, teams are seeing that if you put 2 on him and rough him, he can't cope. He can't handle it. Chelsea were like, he's a wink link, get him, and they went for him. Like you said about Saka, and I know Trossard come off again. Trossard, I've never seen him make.
Hold on one
decision.
second. Hold on
Go
one
on,
second.
go on.
Before you go to Trossard, a lot of the squaddies in the chat want to talk about Zubimendi and Rice.
Mhm.
We saw Norgard came on, and we were screaming for that, weren't we, guys? Really happy to see Norgard come on. We talked about Rice being gassed, but I want to go a little bit deeper into it. Some of the squaddies have issue with how they've been playing together of late. James, it wasn't a great game for the two of them as a duo, as a partnership. And I just don't think it was a great game for them as individuals. I felt like actually everyone pointing the finger at Zubimendi, but I thought Declan Rice did not have a great game today either, James. And it's easy to point the finger at Zubi. And Declan Rice is kind of getting this Teflon thing going at Arsenal. Let's, I think we need to be fairer than that. If you're going to pull up Trossard and you're going to pull up all these other players today, I think you've got to pull up Declan Rice as well. Before we get James's thoughts on that, we are going live to the Emirates now to bring in Mr. Albert JTV direct from North London.
Yes.
Albert,
So
how are you still alive after being in the stadium in that last 10 minutes?
I was going to say the whole of the second half, to be honest with you. But no, big up to the squaddies in the chat. Smash the likes, of course. Yeah, so that was tough, man, especially that second half. And I don't know how you guys felt or what you've covered so far, but I thought in the first half, I actually felt probably the most comfortable in terms of Arsenal going forward and looking like they're going to score. I don't think I felt like that at any point this season, particularly going to the home games watching Arsenal. But Sophie, as the old saying goes in football, goals change games. And I didn't say we had clear-cut chances in the first half. Obviously, a set piece helped, but conceding that goal before half-time was a complete sucker punch. And I thought it kind of carried on into the second half. They used their width a bit more in the second half, Chelsea. They still got some good players, but we just lost complete initiative in what we had in the first half before we conceded the first goal.
Albert, I felt like in the first half that we played well. I'd love for you to just take us through the game flow for you, like emotionally as well as what you saw. And let me give you our summary because I know you weren't able to listen. James and I just think our forward line today was horrible. Everybody, horrible. Saka was horrible. Eze was horrible. Gyökeres was horrible. Trossard was horrible. The other summary from us is that we felt like the partnership of Zubi and Rice just wasn't as robust, and collectively it wasn't. Individually, they weren't great either. Our defense, once again, has brought us this far this season. You would think the attack is going to say, hold on, boys, we'll take it from here. Don't you worry, we got your back. But they're not doing that. Albert, take us through the Emirates. First half, what you saw, second half. The floor's yours.
Yeah, like I said, I thought the first half, personally for me, I thought we looked quite comfortable going forward. Chelsea defensively, for me, have been a team that's been off it for the seasons when I've seen them play. But Arsenal worked themselves into really good areas, man. But as you guys probably would have covered it, just the final missing piece in the final third, and that was all the attackers. I would say Sophie, they was the complete opposite of what you saw last week against Spurs. Killer instinct, finishing chances, making the right decision in the final third, and that was the complete opposite today. And to be honest, Raya wasn't worked really that much in the first half. I can't recall a time when he was. But to be fair to them, like I said, they got some decent players, and lo and behold, we get done on the set piece. I think it was an own goal, wasn't it, by Nketiah?
Yes. Albert, how did you find us after we went 1-0 up? You and I have talked a lot on the show, and in our WhatsApp groups about, how we kind of shrink when we get the lead. It didn't feel as bad in this game. It felt that we still had more of a control in the game, but it felt like we were giving them oxygen little by little, and they were taking a breath here and there. The goal comes just before half time, and it felt like the air went out the stadium.
Yeah, 100%. That goal completely changed the course of the game because one, when they scored the goal just before half time or into the injury time in the first half, and Chelsea, to be honest, Sophie and James, one of the key words talked about in football was momentum. Chelsea had that coming into the second half. I thought Arsenal really kind of struggled for me in that first 15, 20 minutes of the second half. And the goal from another set piece from Arsenal, great ball in by Declan Rice. Um, and you thought, you know what, we've got a foothold in the game. We've gone 2-1 up. Let's try and break Chelsea's resolve a little bit more. Let's possess the ball better than we did towards the start of the second half. But that's been a pattern of many Arsenal games this season so far. I could think of Brentford. I could think of today. There's been plenty of games like that this season where you've seen Arsenal just lose the initiative and lose the foothold. So, you know what part of it as well? It's pressure, man. Another London derby we played again today. I'm sick of seeing them, to be honest with you. And you felt it in the second half. You mentioned about Zubimendi and Rice. I'm glad you brought that up. I thought, for me, from the offset, I don't know how you guys felt. I thought Rice was completely off it. I thought he was completely off it. I actually would have hooked him sooner. And you could see for me, he was struggling. I saw a good 2 or 3, or maybe even 4 occasions where he's made lung busting runs to get back into position, and he looked completely flawed. But listen, he bought on Norgard, but Arsenal, I don't know. I don't know whether it's just. I think it's the players personally in terms of the pressure that's on, because James and Sophie, let's be really, really honest, right? I think we've got 6 games now in 21 days if I've got that right. This is a season-defining month, culminating in playing in the cup final. Listen, we go again on Wednesday, but Arsenal are going to have to reset and regroup pretty quickly. And I think today, it got to a point in the game, so it is a really uncomfortable watch when they went down to 10 men. And actually, what helped Arsenal to get them 3 points more than anything, one of Chelsea's biggest deficiencies this season is discipline. They've had over 60 yellow cards, Sophie.
That's insane.
60. I don't know how many players have had sent off, but ill discipline. I thought the ref lost control in the second half personally. Don't know what we thought. But Arsenal hung in there, man. And you're gonna have games like that, unfortunately. It's gonna be bloody hard to watch Arsenal, particularly when we're ahead in games as well.
Albert, we were having this discussion. I'm going to let James jump in after this last one from me about James thinking that Chelsea are just total rubbish, basically. And a lot of us squaddies just disagreed because the way they were connecting, the way they were playing through our midfield, I feel like this is a talented team that hasn't had a good coach to get the best out of them yet. You got Reece James, you got Cole Palmer, you got João Pedro, you've got Caicedo, you've got Fernandes. I mean, this is
loads of people.
and then you've Cucurella, who, by the way, he's the player I was the happiest about not playing today, because that guy is a menace. Imagine if he was playing today as well. Albert, how did you see them versus us in the sense that we're going on now? We got 9 more of these games, and we've got to close out. We've got to close the deal.
Yeah.
And we're going to face teams that might be better than Chelsea or worse than Chelsea. What did that tell you about us going forward in how we played them, and what you can see maybe from the teams that we've got coming up that concerns you or gives you encouragement?
Great question. So I'll try and answer it stages. So if you look at the game last week against Spurs, yes, another London derby. Yes, our biggest rivals. A pressure game. We win the game. But I also take into massive consideration how poor that Spurs side are. So I knew today coming into the game. I actually went 2-1 as well, because I thought it'd be tight, but I thought we'd win the game. But I think when teams have got pace, and particularly in wide areas, and they move the ball quicker, which we don't do enough, personally, in my humble opinion, we come up against problems. Now, Brighton have had a very indifferent season, for example, so we've got next on Wednesday. there's still a good football inside under different managers who had at that football club. So again, that's not going to be a given. And we've seen, I think it's a pattern of this season generally in the league that we've seen some crazy results. I mean, I watched the Villa Wolves game the other day. Like, it was insane. Like that, they won that game. They was brilliant, by the way. But it just goes to show a team that is crestfallen and going down into the championship can turn up and stuff their rivals. And we had a little bit of that today playing a London derby against Chelsea. I don't think they've beat. I think they've only beaten us twice in 17 now under Mikel since he's been there.
His record's phenomenal against Chelsea.
Yeah, because they're not a good side. I rest my case.
But yeah, so if we're going to come up against some very different tests, but I think we'll have harder games against teams that are prepared to get the ball down and play.
Like Brighton, that poses a
prime example.
Yeah. James, did you have one for Albert JTV live from the Emirates? I should have made a banner for this moment. Let me do that right now.
Yeah. No, as always, happy to see you and your face. You've cheered me up massively, even though I'm happy with the 3 points. I've got to context that because I'll get burned in the chat otherwise. But no, Albert, like you said there, me and Sophie had the discussion earlier in the show. I know you're always tuning in and listening. 3 shots in that second half, obviously had the one that Timber scored from. But then other than that, we had one from Saka, which was a P roller from outside of the box. Gabriel tried to lob Sanchez from one of them. And then we had the other one from Eze after they went down to, that was the only one after they went down to 10 men, which again, that annoys me. But do you think, Albert, that it is, mental and physical fatigue, or do you think it's tactical? That the reason why we don't, because you're looking at it, you're thinking there's 10 men, and we saw it, we saw it when during the game, put this keeper under pressure and he parries it out toward, he doesn't save it away from his goal, he parries it back towards the area. So you just think, pepper him with crosses. He doesn't like trying to claim things. He's all over the place, but yet we'll just keep doing what we're doing and it will see us through. And I saw Melvin in the chat put it up, but you got to stop playing percentages, right?
Yeah, particularly when it's the second time we played Chelsea with 10 men. You could maybe even understand it. Chelsea have got used to playing with 10 men and playing well. But the onus is on Arsenal. They're ahead in the game twice. They're down to 10 men with quite a chunk of the game to go. It's almost as if, I would say, when you mentioned physical, I'd say definitely with some of the players they definitely struggle physically. But again, Sophie's spoken about this a lot throughout the course of the season, Highbury Squad. It is mental because I know, trust me, the goal was well offside, by the way, so I was pretty calm in the stadium. It might not have looked it, but I was. But it's just that panic that sets in and you retreat another 10 yards, and we shouldn't be doing that. I understand it's not easy to close out games, and when you're going for a league title and you've been starved not winning one for a long time, but these are a group of players, Sophie and James, that have been together. I keep talking about this for a couple of 2-3 years now. You should be more experienced in terms of know-how how to see out games. I'm not saying that's easy to do that, but Arsenal have had enough practices at doing it, so you better start getting it more right now because we've only got 9 games left. So listen, I've got plenty of grey hairs coming through now, man. Arsenal are going to keep giving me more to the end of the season, so it is mental. It 100% is.
You're on mute, Soph.
Take 9 more of these. Andy says this win is massive. The performance is huge. Cause for concern. Not the first time this season. But I'm also with, Keystone here. Doesn't matter if it's ugly, just as long as we win. You guys know that has been my mantra. A couple of comments out, but if you have a few minutes to just stick with us here. The Balaguna, this was a hard watch. Chelsea went for it even with 1 man down. Our midfield is non-existent. Josh says mentality is an issue. We've bottled multiple title charges. Okay. I mean, we haven't bottled anything yet. The Foxington says that was a few game in the end. Cincinnati says, could someone who knows football please tell me what Zubimendi does? Brian says, that's the match, guys. Take 3 points and move on. Even City had to survive leads yesterday.
Good point. Watch that game.
Exactly. And let's get one more from you. Defenstration. Chelsea are a cynical team. That's about it. João Pedro and Delap are underwhelming up front. Enzo disappears in big games. They're headless chickens. Trossard is the most inconsistent player in the league, says K. Marlon. Albert, before we let you go, summary the gaffer subs. How do you feel like he did with the subs? It felt like it was crying out for Saka to go off, Eza to go off, Trossard to go off, and maybe even Timber earlier. What's your take on it?
Right. I would have took off. I mean, he took off. So I'll say he took off Trossard sooner, but he took him off after about 8 minutes into the second half. I think it was.
That was a great sub, and he took him off at like I think
53 minutes. Or something like that,
56.
Yeah.
56.
So yeah, for me that was the right sub. As I mentioned before, I would have took off Rice a lot earlier. I think physically he struggled today, and I could see that from the off. That wasn't that. I mean, that was staring me right in the face. But he made the sub with that. I would have taken off Saka just because I don't think he was as effective as we would have liked him. But listen, Mikel's paid £15 million a year for a reason. But those are the subs that I personally would have made. Had no problem with Havertz getting on. He needs to get back into the swing of things. So yeah, those were a couple of subs to me. One of them I would have made a lot in terms of Norgard coming on for Rice.
Okay, and here's a quote for you from the gaffer to take you out on, Albert. We're really happy because we know we had 2 difficult games last week. The attitude and willingness to go for it and be dominant. I'm happy with that. I love everything in Arteta's post-match presses is about winning duels, dominance, and controlling the game. There's nothing we can do to control the weather there. It looks a little chilly for Albert. We're going to let him get home. Follow Albert JTV. If you missed Albert on BBC Radio 5 live this morning, please make sure that you go and check it out. He did an excellent piece.
Very early.
And it was on early. So please go check it out at Albert JTV on YouTube. Albert, anything else you want to let the squaddies know before you duck out and make your way through North London on this glorious Sunday night, carrying 3 points in your very cool puffer jacket pocket?
I know. I feel like the Afro-Caribbean Jules Graham in this jacket, man. It's beautiful. But my shout out to the squaddies after that, watching that game, particularly in the second half for the last 15-20 minutes. Go and have a hot bar with lots of Radox and bubble bar. Secondly, buckle the seatbelts in, because do I think we're squeaky bum time now?
I think we're there.
I think we are. This is a season defining month, man. This is huge. So what have we got? So Mansfield Saturday, obviously before that Brighton. We've got Leverkusen twice, and we've got the cup final. So there you go. Buckle in, people.
It's a huge month, and I agree. It's getting to squeaky bump. This month will define our season. I truly believe that too.
Yeah, well said.
And even though I don't care, happy St. Totteringham's Day, Albert.
I saw the result. I saw it. Jesus. You know what? Holly hasn't spoken to me for about the whole season, if I'm going to be honest. But
you can't blame her, can you? Really?
No, I can't blame her. She's feeling it.
Live from the Emirates, Albert JTV. Thank you so much for joining us. At ease, travel safe. Don't forget to text Mum when you get home.
I will. I love you guys, man. Smash the like button, people. Albert JTV. See you soon.
We'll see you soon. See you later, brother.
Chase Gary as well if you find him. I don't like people chasing Arteta's car, but chase down Gary's car if you can find it.
Love it. Well done, Albert. Thank you so much for the live report outside the Emirates. James, what else do you want the squaddies to know? For me, I'm happy. It's 3. I'm gonna stick to my mantra. And I said to Shabana and Tony Cascarino on the breakfast show today at TalkSport, I don't care what you think or who you think we are. This is who we are. And we're a personality in each competition, right? It's kind of like in the Champions League, we're James Bond. In the Premier League, James, we're kind of like Sylvester Stallone in Cliffhanger.
I thought you were going to say Johnny English.
We were in the last 3
Yeah,
minutes.
yeah.
Well,
Like it's not the best. It's not the best secret agent in the world, but he gets the job done. Johnny English.
Exactly. In the League Cup, we're Ricky Gervais. We're having a bit of laugh in it.
Yeah.
And in the FA Cup, we're waiting to define that one yet. But James, what else have I not asked you, or have we not talked about or said that you want to share with the squaddies?
Yeah, look, to me, there's no right or wrong answer here. Like, I think people can confuse it and think that you're getting visceral on one side or the other, and that's not the case. There's ways to do it, and people support in certain ways. Like, I agree with you. This is who we are, and this is what we're doing. But my whole thing is I'm like, look, I don't like to play percentages. That's my personal opinion. And I think when you be like this, and when it gets like this, that it's a bit still too shaky. And I think today we had plenty of opportunity, even in the first half, let alone the second, to have this wrapped up by half time. And they played about with their food. They weren't clinical enough in the box. And you mentioned Saka earlier, Sophie, and I know he's a divisive one, but he got a great goal against Wolves the other night. I thought he was very good, especially the first half against Tottenham the other week. But he should have had a couple of goals there. There was one today where he got the ball early, and he had a head start on the defender, and then the defender caught him. And I saw people going, "Oh, unlucky Saka." I'm like, that's Victor Gyökeres. He's in The Hague for doing that. I think people pick due to who's on the back of the shirt, who can be critiqued and who can't be critiqued. And if I see something that I deem can be critiqued, I don't care who it is. I've got the shirt that's behind me from the Invincible season. I used to sit East Stand Upper. I was very lucky. I had a season ticket East Stand Upper with my dad back in the day. And I'm telling you now, all of them got it. Henri got it if he weren't performing. Bergkamp, Pires, Lundberg, all of them. So I don't think anyone should be exempt when they don't have good games. But, I saw someone today say that Saka was doing Alexis Sanchez impressions. And I had to disagree, because I said Alexis Sanchez, I watched win games on his own. And I'm like, since he signed that big contract, I haven't seen much from the guy that deems that he's, he got the contract based on the work that he's done previously. And I don't begrudge that. But now we need to see you go to the next level. And I believe that he can get there? 100%. But I need to see more from him, especially when it gets to the last 10 or so games of the season. Bukayo Saka normally has a dip. But we need to see Bukayo Saka now ascend into a player that carries us, that lifts us in the last 10 games of the season. Because at the moment, Sophie, he is not, I need to see more than one cute pass to Eze, I'm afraid.
I agree, but at the same time, I just feel that he's not in this particular Arteta boat, says I captain, on his own. It's just been. I almost feel that Arteta had a come to Jesus meeting on his own when the season started. Right, James, hear me out. Andrea Berta went and got him, as you say, all these toys, right? And there's something unsavory sometimes at Christmas time when you see like kids unwrapping toy after toy after toy after toy. It's like, God, when are you going to get a chance to play with all of those toys? If you just get them enough toys, they'll appreciate them and they'll play with them and they'll utilize those toys instead of being overwhelmed with too much. Berta delivered the perfect amount of shiny new toys for Mikel. And even though he trusts his trusted players, I'm going to go to the end of the mountain with you. The new guys, right? The new guys have showed up. I mean, Nkapie in a time where Calafiori is injured, Miles Lewis Skelly just not happening for him this season. You can say what you want about Gyökeres, but imagine if he wasn't in this team this season, especially with the Havertz injury and Marino going out. Mosquera stepping in. I think Norgard is so much better and deserves to play more. Zubimendi, Madueke when he's come in, Noni, Eza. These new toys, right, have delivered, whether it's joy for you or just, satisfaction, whatever it is. Mikel has been given just enough. And I think he sat there and he said, I just want to win this title. Even he must have been saying to himself, James, I just need to deliver the title. I don't care how we do it. And we're on this train now. And the train is, it doesn't matter how we do it. We just have to do it, right? We've got to do this season. And we can sit here for an hour and 20 minutes and talk about performance and talk about player of the match and talk about the gaffer and talk about the home fans and how everyone did today. But the only thing that matters is the number 3. That's it. Between 9 games left, and we're going to start talking about, oh, well, you know me, I'll get into my triangle conversation again. We didn't pass the ball because it was rudimentary to do that. It doesn't matter, James. Just doesn't matter. Not to me. And I care less about, who's man of the match and who's player of the match. I am all about the number 3 until the rest of the season. Is that obtuse?
Not at all. Not at all. Like I said, again, people can support it, can talk about it in their own way, and we're all different. And like I said, nobody's right and nobody's wrong. Just, again, I don't like playing percentages, and that's a great point. That's a player that today would have been massive for us. And he shows out against Chelsea as well, Marino. But he is a miss. He is a miss. He really is.
And he's a miss for so many reasons. I think also people tend to forget, like when you go to work and you've got a team and you look forward to it, you go into work every day. When someone's off sick or someone's on a business trip, you're like, oh man, James isn't there. He's not going to be there this week. There's something that the people in life at work, they give you energy, they give you fuel, they give you fire, they have a personality and a presence. And I think Mikel Merino has that on the pitch and off the pitch as well, in the dressing room. And we have to learn to cope without him, James. We have to learn to cope without him.
But we mentioned it, didn't we, a couple of weeks ago? And again, just to put this on there before we get flamed again, we never said that he was better than him. They're completely, they're levels in player. But when Robert Pires got injured in the March, I believe it was, against Newcastle, I think it was Laurent Robert absolutely took him out at Highbury. When we won the league that year, all the players stood there and they bowed to him as he lifted it, didn't he? He had and we said that Marino's got that same sort of, these players, not that he's nowhere near Robert Pires' level. He's a good player,
That's
but he's
not what you're
Robert
saying.
Pires. Exactly.
It's the impact.
And I think they'll do the same thing. I think they might not bow to the guy, but they will stand there if he, hopefully he's fit and back before then. But yeah, they'll stand there and they'll be like, thank you, Marino.
For sure. So after I've said all of that, who's your player of the match?
Oh, well, again, should we do my new segment again, Sophie?
Go on then.
Should we do Ask David? David, what did you think of Raya as well today? 10. There you go. And again, 10. He gets a big 10.
David Raya, our player of the match. He was brilliant. I don't know what was more brilliant, the save from the corner.
Marino definitely has aura. I've seen that comment. James is considering saying Marino has aura. He has aura. He has got aura.
Yeah, he does. I said Mikel has aura. Follows me everywhere now.
He certainly has got something.
Yeah,
because he's in all 4 trophies still. Back clear at the top of the league. He's got something.
Matty K says he's just had a Greek yogurt with blueberries and chopped nuts. It was a wonderful combination. I love you, Squaddy, so much, I have to say. Newman stepped up when needed. When was this, Chief Like Officer Tammy Steels? I'd like to know when this actually occurred. Harvey says he's always right. You're a plonker today, Harvey. A big, old, squaddy plonker. You're lucky Tammy didn't give you a red card today. I'm bringing the cards back for the last nine games.
He told me I was in my wife fronts during this podcast.
Oh, and then he said you were doing
I am
something.
not. I am not.
Yeah.
I'm in shorts, but I am not in my wife fronts.
It was the comment after that.
I'm in my Miami Dolphins shorts because I know he wants to know. He talked about me being on OnlyFans the other week, so there's clearly something there.
He's coming in with the key info here. Garnacho save was great. Inches, Sophie. Inches. Yes. Well done. Well done. What? Newman stepped on when needed. That's more like it. See, their Lone Star corrected it for everybody. Mask Gunners having English banners. We love you more, Sophie. Let us know where in the world you are and what you're eating right now. How about that before we go? James, what is coming up this week for the Arsenal? Obviously, Mansfield, rest everybody. Play the kids, play whoever you want. I don't care. Brighton's going to be tough, have been a bogey team for us in the past. Then, we resume Champions League against a Bayer Leverkusen side that isn't the same Leverkusen that went invincible and won a few trophies under Alonso. Nonetheless, still a good side. Real quick, would you have preferred Atalanta or Leverkusen?
I wasn't fussed. I just didn't want as many English sides. I was like, I want as less games against English teams over 2 legs in that crunch as possible. So I was quite happy when that draw come out, Soph. But I don't diminish anybody. I've seen a lot of people going, well, it's only Barcelona in the semis. I'm like, calm down. Calm down. I don't diminish anybody.
And I mean, let's...
that sort of talk's too big.
I don't like it at all. I know it's a good draw, but stop. We cannot get ahead of ourselves. Guna Chris says, Sophie, my daughter is getting ready to commit a D1 soccer program. If we get you a hoodie, yes, I would. Are you? Hello, a hoodie, a hat. I'm with you. And I would like to actually give a shout out to the cutest young man I met last night. Okay. And where I sent a note to myself so I wouldn't forget, because I was at the LA Galaxy game, and I saw 2 kids in their Kai Havertz shirt. And then because I do a show here in the US for LA Galaxy and stuff like that too. It's got, when I go to games, people come up to you and they want to have a chat. And yesterday it was all about the Arsenal. And young Elias, who was there with his dad and his brother, came up to me. He's like, Soph, Jesus or Gyökeres? I go, this will take quick, Gyökeres. And then, just firing questions. Elias, you look great in your new LA Galaxy 6-star shirt. Well done for being a Gooner. We're going to take this home, and I look forward to seeing you during halftime at the last game as well. So young Elias there, and Angelino, who is super passionate about the Gunners, and they were everywhere yesterday at the match. So thanks to everyone who came and said hello. Really appreciate each and every one of you as well. The most sensible thing this guy said all day, hit the like button. James, what do you have coming up?
Yeah, I will probably do one after Brighton and combine the 2 together like I have been. Just want to say there was a few people that come over from this chat onto my channel chat at the weekend during the stream. So thank you very much for that.
Were they nice to you?
They were. And again, last week I had my most viewed show of all time. This one at the weekend is now currently number 2 most viewed of all. There's clearly something going on here. So thank you very much. I know that probably a lot of people after today don't want to come over to my channel after what I've said, but it's fine if you do. I'm there, and I am happy to be abused or to be praised. So either way.
You can abuse or love James at here. Didn't do any of my bits today. I was so excited we got 3 points there. I gave you the little fighter emoji at LL Call James 91. Make sure you follow the Purely Arsenal podcast and continue to help him get his numbers up. Notice I said numbers up. Okay, kids. The fans
they can
today
knock it down as well. It's fine.
How do you think the fans did today, James?
I think they pretty much reflect everybody that they were quiet when it was tense, but they were loud when that final whistle went, and rightfully so. So yeah, good on them. Good on them. And again, it was another good tifo. After last week's tablecloth that we saw, I was happy that we got a nice tifo again this week.
Very good. Very good. And by the way, just to run off some for you, Yanto is having a leek and potato soup for St. David's Day. Happy St. David's Day. Wesbird is making caramel latte for Mr. W. Wow, what a keeper, huh? Very, very good. Maxine says, Soph, Arsenal have different hats for each game, just like you. I love that. And Hannah says, our new temporary Gunner pub served up vegan hot dogs with chips and mimosa. Gonna need some meat. I tried the vegan thing for I went through I'm in my 20s and corn. I'm going to be a vegetarian. When I told my Greek parents I'm a vegetarian. Oh, James.
Head loss.
It was like that scene in My Big Fat Greek Wedding. Thea, what's his name? I can't remember his name. Ian is a vegetarian. What do you mean? He doesn't eat meat. What do you mean he don't eat meat? The whole scene just stops. The Greeks just stare at him. Don't worry. I cook lamb. It's great. I love it. All right, everyone. That is it. That's all we've got time for today. 3 points for the Gunners. A wonderful, wonderful 3 points. Play it on the roulette. Play it on the lottery. From now on, your lucky number between now and the end of the season is 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Can you count up to 3 in any other language, James, that we can include?
Probably not, no. I struggle with English. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. Squaddies, brilliant stuff. Absolute man of the match performance from the ref. Clap, clap, clap. A few things did go in our favor today. Really, really did. All right, kids, we will see you back at Squad Central tomorrow. Look out on the community page for the time of the show. Is there a game tomorrow night in the league? Is anyone playing?
Oh, good question. I don't think there is because Sky would have plugged it, but I will double check.
Oh, mister, I was just joking. I'm Greek and I'm vegan. Just because you're Greek doesn't mean you have to be an animal abuser. I love animals. I've got 2 dogs. I love animals. I love them. Just don't be upset, AK Gunner, Gibrel, Elinas, wherever you are.
Okay, the big one tomorrow, if you want, is Birmingham City versus Middlesbrough in the Championship.
I do like watching a little Birmingham, I have to say. Tom Brady's got me hooked in. And by the way, that Championship race and that Old Firm derby today, wow.
Come on, Celtic. Come on, Celtic.
Did you see my boy Arajo giving it large today?
He loves it. I'll tell you what, though, good on Martin O'Neill, because Callum McGregor, who's the captain of Celtic, he's not one of my favourite players going, but yeah, it took Martin O'Neill having to go in there and splitting all that up. He weren't a good captain in that situation. The captain should have dragged them players away, got it all sorted. But no, it took old Martin to go in there on his, I think it was his 74th birthday, I believe they said today.
Wow.
And he went in there and he sorted it. And I've seen clips of Martin when he was a player. So yeah, I think he fancies it. So
that penalty was like, oh my God, this is going to be for this player. I was just, please just score it. Any player other than a Tottenham player. I mean,
and
it
Kieran Tierney scoring as well. I love that.
Oh, yeah,
but bless the Ox, he had a dreadful game. Sorry.
Very, very good. And in the Championship, Seb, can you imagine Millwall in the Premier League next season? Albert won't like it much because there's
a certain channel that I am going to enjoy trying to watch film outside the den, Sophie, and not have anything happen to them. That's all I'll say. I don't think they're going to get away with that one.
We need Martin Odegaard back. I don't care what anyone says. Stick that in your pipe and smoke it, everyone. We need Martin Odegaard in this team. He could have come on today. He's that, come on for 20 minutes. It's like yesterday, I was watching the game. Marco Reus isn't the same player he is. 25 minutes to go, comes in, passing it around, controlling the tempo of the game, and that's what we need Martin Odegaard to do. Doesn't have to be Mr. Superhero. Just be neat. Be neat, Marty. All right? We like neat Marty here on Squad Central. All righty, Marty? That's it. That's all we got time for. More comments. Where are you going to go now? Just going to go. I'm going to go eat. I'm going to go have a kebab. I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your Sunday, no matter where in this world you might be right now. We're sending a lot of love to every single person who might be going through a difficult time. And of course, we've got a lot of Arsenal fans in different regions around the world where, unfortunately, life is a matter of, life and death in horrific situations. Just know that we're thinking of you. We're here. Nothing I can do, nothing James or anyone can do, but all we could do is be kind to each other and support our players, support our team, and lean on football in a time where the world is a very challenging place. And in the difficult times in my life, I've definitely leaned in to football because we get to hang out together and it feels less lonely and you've got people to talk to. And that's what the Squaddy community is all about. Right. Buckle up, kids. 9 more to go. We've got this. Don't give up. And I'm going to put my TalkSport segment up on the channel as well so you can dive into that too. Squaddies, at ease. Don't forget to tell your loved ones you love them. 3 points. Get in.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.
It wasn't a bird impression. I was playing an American, trying to be a movie star. Crikey, whatever. And Matty, your scores are hilarious. Anyway, 10 to Soph, 8.67.6, 6.89. Tammy gets a 10. Demsek gets 8.789. James, I don't see a score for you. This is outrageous.
I'm unscorable. That's fine. My performance was that bad. It was
It's all about those